I managed to upgrade my computer over Christmas, and this means I'm able to play games beyond Elf Bowling on it. I have Cyberpunk 2077 running on this thing, and there's only regular graphical glitches, which I consider to be a huge success. But there's one game that I've been pretty interested in for a while that I haven't been able to play on my old machine, and that game is Genshin Impact, released by MiHoYo later last year. Genshin Impact is an action RPG. There's a big world to explore, and you go around exploring it. It has a lot of similarities to a famous game, being Breath of the Wild. I don't have a source on this, but apparently right now Genshin Impact's world is about half the size of Breath of the Wild's Hyrule, and only 2 of the 7 countries have been implemented in Genshin. In the world of Genshin Impact, you play as the Traveler, one of 2 twins who can travel through worlds. You get attacked by an unknown god in the beginning, and you get separated from your other sibling. But it's not all bad, as you quickly find Paimon, a fairy elf thing that everyone treats as normal even though she doesn't even know what she is. The 2 of you decide to meet up with the Archons, who are basically the gods of the world, and you journey from country to country helping people out and stuff. There are many things to find out in the world of Genshin Impact. Just about everywhere you'll go, you'll be finding items that can be picked up and used to upgrade something. And there are also chests just about everywhere, for doing just about anything. You can unlock chests by clearing enemy camps, picking vegetables, guiding ghosts back to their homes, and from just finding them lying around without any additional requirements. There are also domains and shrines that are sprinkled around the world. Shrines need a key to be unlocked, but they have the best type of chest in the game, which offers a ton of really good rewards if they're opened. Domains, on the other hand, are small dungeons or arenas that can be conquered for special rewards, usually necessary to upgrade your characters. Finally, there are leyline outcrops and bosses to find. Leylines are challenges where you typically have to defeat a group of enemies, and then you receive a certain reward. Bosses can be found scattered throughout the world, and they also drop items which are necessary to upgrade characters. Annoyingly, while you can enter domains, challenge leylines, and fight bosses whenever you want, you can only claim the rewards from such activities if you have the resin to do so, which is basically the stamina system of the game. Worse yet, a few bosses can only be fought once a week, yet they still require resin to get the reward for beating them. One big differentiating factor between Genshin Impact and Breath of the Wild is that Genshin Impact has a ton of playable characters. You start out with just the Traveler, but there are a number of characters available, each with their own playstyle. Even characters that share the same weapon can feel rather unique to each other, thanks to having different attack strings, skills, and elemental abilities. Some characters are meant to purely dish out damage, some are meant to provide support, and some are meant to heal. Most of the time though, there are a few different paths available to a character. Take Bennett for example. Bennett can be built as a DPS character, but he comes with an interesting skill in Fantastic Voyage. This skill creates a zone where characters above 70% HP will receive an attack boost based off Bennett's own attack. Meanwhile, characters with below 70% HP will receive healing based off Bennett's max HP. Bennett does pretty well in either a support or offensive role, so it's up to the player to decide which role they need him at. But even if you have a super powerful character with Unga Bunga attack, it's going to be very difficult to solo anything in this game. To survive in combat, you'll want to form a good party and switch between adventurers to fit the situation. This is because of elemental reactions. Each adventurer has an elemental power granted to them by something called a vision. Just clicking with your mouse will initiate a basic attack chain, but there are also elemental skills and bursts. Skills have a very wide variety of effects, but typically there's some sort of elementally charged attack. Elemental bursts are similar. The main difference is that instead of being on a timer, they're charged by collecting energy. Hitting an enemy with an elementally charged attack applies that element to the enemy. On its own, this usually does absolutely nothing, but when elements are combined, a special effect is applied. Many times this just amounts to an additional burst of damage, but a few have additional effects. One example of this is Superconduct, which is applied by combining electro and cryo attacks. In addition to dealing a bunch of AoE damage, Superconduct also applies a defense debuff on the enemy. But there's more you'll have to consider than just how to dab on hilly trolls the fastest. Throughout the world there are various elemental puzzles to solve. These can range from torches to light, to pressure plates that need to be activated by geoconstructs. You'll also want to consider general utility a character might have. Claymore users can break ore in no time. Cryo adventurers can freeze water and walk on it, which will save your stamina while swimming. And archers and catalyst users can use their elements without using a skill, which will save time solving puzzles. One big thing I forgot to mention is that, besides the price of the fancy machine you'll need to actually play the game, Genshin Impact is free. There are some premium items of varying value, but just playing the game costs nothing at all. A free Breath of the Wild with various characters and no weapon durability sounds like the best game of all time. So why isn't this the perfect video game? There are a number of reasons. Let's get a big one out of the way first. This is a gacha. For those of you who are blissfully unaware of what a gacha is, it means all those characters I mentioned earlier, you're only given 6, technically 7 of them. For the rest, you'll have to spend items called fates and literally wish for the characters you want. Let's say you want Venti. He's one of the most powerful characters in the game, and he's pretty interesting from a plot perspective. You have a... Oh, what's that? Venti is a limited character, and so is every 5-star released after launch. Oh dear, I guess you'll have to either shell out the money to buy an account with him off eBay, or pray for a rerun of this banner. Anyway, let's say you just want a 5-star character. You have a 0.6% chance of rolling a 5-star, and if you're going with the standard wish banner, you have to deal with the possibility of getting a 5-star weapon instead of a character. There is a pity system in place, where you'll be guaranteed a 5-star after 90 wishes without one, but that's still 14,400 Primo Gems, and you generally only get 2 to 5 Primo Gems per chest you open. Don't forget, if you want to fully max out a character, you'll need to get them 6 additional times to unlock their constellation. Now of course, it's not impossible to get a 5-star. I managed to get the 5-star Albedo around 30 rolls on its banner, and then I got D-Luke a few more rolls after that. And even without a 5-star, most of the content in the game can be done with the 4-star characters. But still, less than 1% is extremely stingy, at least in my eyes. Resin is also a much bigger problem than how I framed it earlier. You'll need a lot of items if you want to upgrade your characters, and many of these items can only be found through bosses or through domains, which you'll need resins to collect the rewards from. You only have 160 resin max, and refresh it at a rate of 1 per 8 minutes. You can forcefully refresh it, but that costs either a rare resource and fragile resin, or Primo Gems, which can be better used for wishing. And remember, you're not guaranteed any specific drop from each boss or domain. This is especially frustrating with prototype items, which seem to be especially rare. These items allow you to craft weapons for your adventures, some of which are really good, rivaling the best weapons from the gacha system. But they can pretty much only be found by defeating bosses you can fight once a week. Want to build a polearm for that spiffy new polearm unit coming out soon, but none of the bosses dropped a polearm prototype? Sucks to suck! Pray for better odds next week, I guess. Speaking of upgrade materials, the entire progression system is rather cumbersome. There are a little under 30 characters in the game as of right now, yet you're only given enough experience to level up around 5 or 6 of them. You might think you'd be able to just grind on enemies, but they give pitiful amounts of experience. Instead, you'll have to rely on items that just give you experience to level up. While they can be found just about everywhere, they're also very easy to run out of. If you're like me and run out before hitting Adventure Rate 35, you'll effectively hit the wall, as now you can't really grind for more experience. As added salt on this wound, every 10 levels or so you'll hit a level cap, where you'll have to do something called ascending your characters to get past. This means offering up more resources to get your characters to a higher level, which will just give you another level cap, and so on and so forth. Keep in mind it's not just your characters you'll need to upgrade. You'll also need to upgrade your equipment. Artifacts start out fairly simple. You just need to sacrifice other artifacts to give the ones you want experience. Of course, there is a catch. As your artifact grows in level, it will pick up random additional traits, and these traits can be further upgraded as the artifact levels up more. You have no way of controlling which traits your artifact picks up and which traits improve. It can be really annoying if you get an artifact that's good for your offense at the start, but as you unlock traits on it, it just keeps getting defensive traits. And once again, you have no influence whatsoever over what the artifact grows into, so it can be really obnoxious. Weapons also level up through sacrifice, although this time there is an item that just gives weapon experience. However, weapons also have level caps you need to unbind. In addition, weapons can be refined by combining them with identical copies, boosting the special effect of each weapon. This is just as much of a nightmare as it sounds, but there is some mercy. Like with characters, 5-star weapons don't necessarily equate to being the best possible. While stat-wise they do tend to be the best, most of the time there's a lesser rarity weapon that works just as fine. Albedo, for example, makes the best use out of a 3-star sword, although in fairness, that's mainly because there isn't really a sword that complements his playstyle. Money, called Mora in this game, suffers from a similar situation as Experience. You'll have boatloads of this stuff early on, but it won't take long before you feel like a real college student with how strapped for cash you'll be. Nothing in this game is prohibitively expensive, but rather you'll be bogged down by thousands of small purchases. Before you know it, you spent 500,000 Mora in just one day. One of the loading screen tips notes that Mora is a catalyst of sorts in the world, which is the justification for why it's used for just about everything. Ascending and leveling up your adventurers cost money, crafting costs money, pretty much the only thing that doesn't cost money is cooking, and even then, a few ingredients can only be purchased. All in all, I do like Genshin Impact, at least right now. There are some absolutely garbage things in this game, but there are also many neat ideas. I'm looking forward to each new event, and there's one character I'm especially looking forward to. Hopefully you can keep my interest for that long though, as the banners in this game seem to really drag on. If you liked the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. I don't really know what the next video is going to be, but hopefully it will be something good.